Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Eldritch Horror, the Dreamlands, where we're just about to start turn 3. So, as far as it's been going okay-ish. We've had a couple of close calls. It's still pretty grim for Mandy, and unfortunately Zoey has gotten herself cursed. But we're still in with a shout. The Doom track is still on 9. We've got a few gates open, but those that are open aren't scheduled to affect the Doom track just yet. So what we'll do is we'll get straight into our next turn. We've had a change of first player and Tommy Muldoon is now going to take on that mantle. So let's go and have a look what happened previously on the Dreamlands. Tommy's patience was wearing thin. Never one for pomp and ceremony, he had been ushered to an official event of appreciation by the ruling guildmasters for his services to the city. The event was held aboard an imposing black galleon too large to dock, yet connected to the city by an intricate series of bridges and gangplanks that ran some 50 metres to the ship. On board were scores of people, some guards, some officials, and others who seemed to defy classification, including one short elderly fellow with a bushy moustache wearing a tweed jacket and clutching a rather weighty satchel to his chest. "I say, Mr. Muldoon, we must speak," he shouted in a well-to-do English accent as Tommy was escorted onto the deck. An enormously corpulent man, bedecked in garish robes and a turban, who Tommy decided was similar to an Ottoman sultan, had begun by expressing the city's thanks. But it became apparent that they had other ideas, and the honouring turned into an attempt by the city masters to either get Tommy to sell Becky his cherished rifle to them in defence of the city, or to get Tommy to agree to a long period of servitude for their benefit. Tommy was almost grateful when the attack happened. A large group of fanatical wretches clad in rags and wielding crude weapons had stormed the galleon, attacking everyone in their way. As the chaos of the melee ensued before him, Tommy was confronted by their leader, a fiercely psychotic woman with web tattoos covering her shaven head and with filed teeth. She withdrew a long knife from the throat of a turbaned official, gurgling blood upon the deck, and she gestured at Tommy, grinning savagely. "You," she shrieked, "you are the one who closed the gate. You must die so you cannot harm the Great Weaver's work further." Tommy instinctively went for his badge and then realised that it was fruitless. Arkham PD had no jurisdiction here, but she would have information he needed if he could take her in. "Ma'am, please put down your weapon, and I am sure we could." She responded with an ear-splitting screech and launched herself at him, her bloody knife raised high and the promise of death blazing in her eyes. So focused was she on Tommy that she barged the elderly English guy with the satchel. He staggered near to Tommy to escape the fighting, but fell violently over the side of the ship and plummeted the 30 feet into the water below. "Damn it," muttered Tommy. If he was going to save the old limey, then he had to act now. He raised Becky and fired point blank at the cultist. She was dead before her body slid to a halt just in front of Tommy's boot. With a pang of remorse, he leapt over her body, thrust Becky to the side, and dived over the side of the ship into the dark waters below after the sinking old man. The next day, Tommy sat in a cafe, staring curiously over his bitter drink of what passed for coffee here, at a slab of ancient stone covered in symbols and glyphs. Bernard, the old gent he had saved, sat opposite him, toying with his moustache, watching Tommy intently. He had learned much from Bernard, who worked at the British Museum. Apparently he and Tommy and many others here were dreamers, foreigners who came here through the realm of sleep. Bernard was no stranger to these lands and had noticed a dark change in the winds. Tommy had spoken to many people, and it was grim tidings. Portals and beasts were emerging all around the land, and he had work to do. Bernard was convinced that this tablet may be important, but Tommy wasn't sure he had the time or the knowledge to use it. Maybe there were others that could. Mandy was alive but horribly weak. Daylight hurt her eyes and her dreams were fitful and haunted. So much so she could get no rest. She discharged herself from the hospital and barely managed to get back to the hotel, where she checked out to move to another hotel just in case. At least all of her possessions were still there. It was while checking out she saw that she had received a message from Master Lin. He would meet her with an important friend in the park that afternoon. Mandy had arrived there sick, cold and tired to be met by Master Lin. He had motioned to a black car across from the park gates and explained that his cousin, Lin Tu-Yang, wished to help her. Lin Tu-Yang would allow her to visit his vast library of ancient Chinese occult scrolls and tomes. It was fortunate, in a way, that Mandy was so sick, as she failed to notice what otherwise would have been obvious. Lin Tu-Yang was a Shanghai merchant warlord. However, the old man was as good as his word in allowing Mandy access to his library. As she had pored over the ancient documents, the old man had questioned her about the marsh scrolls and her recollections of them. So it was that both Mandy and the warlord learned much, but were comforted not at all by their newfound knowledge. Gloria was a little too sure of herself as she left the lecture hall with Randolph, probably showing off. She stopped at the Miskatonic Library and checked out an astronomy guidebook she had used in the past. She then led Randolph to a park near her apartment, and once they had seated themselves at a bench, they spoke more about the Dreamlands. But something was a little off in the air. Gloria started to feel very uneasy. She couldn't place a finger on it, so she let it go for now. She told Randolph to relax his mind and she would try something that she only thought might work. She took his hand and began meditating and chanting. They both closed their eyes, and when they reopened them, they were both standing in a dense forest. The stars were shining in the night sky, and they heard birdsong fill the air around them. Her plan had worked. They had stepped into the Dreamlands. But what now? Her unease became worse. Suddenly, as they started to walk, they noticed a strange series of lights in the sky. Long clouds of coloured things is all she could name them. Gloria tried to figure out what they were, but it eluded her. She now knew what the problem was. She was way out of her element here, and she had even dragged poor Randolph along. What if she was wrong? How could she have been so cocky to face this? She thought of returning home and just crawling under the covers of her bed never to return, but she had come this far. She needed to see before giving up. She tried to put on a brave face as she lit a cigarette and suggested that they continue on their path. Randolph showed no signs of being bothered here, and at her suggestion he nodded. After what seemed like hours of walking, they heard a huge explosion. A dream quake is what the guidebook had called it. Perhaps this is why they needed to investigate. What was causing these quakes and why? Suddenly the ground swelled beneath their feet and they were both tossed on the ground. Neither were hurt, but Gloria had learned something. This was more dangerous than they had ever imagined. Zoey awoke from her nightmare about the man with the ticking watch. Sweat dripped from her hair and face. She could remember his sickening smile from her horrible dream. In the dream, Zoey knew that the man had done something terrible to her, changed something inside her. Wincing, she tried to remember the dream. Something about a curse? Steeling her resolve, Zoey reminded herself that they were only dreams and they couldn't hurt her. The man with the ticking watch hadn't actually done anything to her in the market, had he? No, Zoey decided. It was just a dream. And everyone knew that dreams weren't real. She had to focus on her mission. There was still something left in Rome for her to do, and she'd better get on with whatever it was. And here we are at the action phase. Just before we start off though, let's just have a quick reminder of what's going on. Our first player is indeed going to be Tommy Muldoon. He is over here in Dilath-Lean. He will be followed by the lovely Mandy Thompson here in Shanghai. Then it will be the Enchanted Wood and Gloria with her boyfriend Randolph. and then we will be going to Rome with Mad Zoey. Just some other things to go through. The dream portals, just as a reminder, there's one at Buenos Aires that goes to the underworld, there's one at the Amazon that goes to the moon, and there is another at Tunguska which goes to unknown Kadath. We have got the expedition is at the Himalayas. Our next gate will go to Celophaeus. Talking of gates, we have the Amazon gate, but that's on the moon. We have the Ulthar gate, and we have the Tunguska gate that it's at unknown Kadath. We've got a few monsters. We've got a skeleton. We're not too worried about that. But we do have a hunting horror, which we're extremely worried about. And we have a ghost on the moon here. The adventure, the Cats of Ulthar, is actually at Ulthar. And other than that, I think that is it. So let's zoom in on Tommy. And let's start the action phase. And here we are with Tommy. What is Tommy going to do for his first action? Well, for his first action, Tommy is going to try and acquire assets. Yes, he's in Altach-Nacha, and it is a city. So it has markets like everywhere else. So he is going to try and acquire something. So remember, he is blessed and he has an influence of 3. So he's going to get 3 blessed dice. Come on, Tommy. And he gets 2 successes. As he has blessed dice, he has a 4 and a 6. And those are both successes. Let's pop across and see what he is going to buy. And here we are at the asset reserve. What we're going to do is we are going to buy the skeleton keys. So let's just have a reminder, it's a trinket. Once per round you may add 1 to the result of 1 die when resolving a test during another world encounter. So very, very good card. He's going to take the skeleton keys. Now, he was very specific, Tommy's player. He's not going to take a bank loan. But if he had took a bank loan, he could have got the dynamite. But he was very specific in his instructions, and we will just take the skeleton keys, which costs 1. We won't spend the other, and we'll just leave it at that. But first things first, we do have to replace those skeleton keys. So let's get the asset reserve deck. Here it is. We'll do a cut like we always do, and we get the puzzle box. For a cost of 3, you can buy this trinket. When you perform a rest action, you may attempt to open the puzzle box with an observation test -2. If you pass, discard this card to gain an artifact. So pretty good. This had been pretty good for Mandy until she got her observation knocked down. But not a bad card. So we'll put that there. Right, that is it for Tommy's first action. Let's get back over to the Dreamlands. And here we are back with Tommy. What's Tommy going to do for his second action? Well, he's going to use his special action. And that means he can drag a monster from an adjacent space onto his space. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to take the hunting horror. So that is going to come across to Altach-Nacha. And Tommy is going to take it on. Now, it does have a reckoning, which means that if we did get a Mythos card with a reckoning on it, it would move towards the closest investigator anyway, but Tommy wants to kill him early. It's never nice having something like a hunting horror knocking around. It's one of the few monsters in Eldritch Horror that actually moves, and it's a bit of a beast, so let's get rid of it. So he has dragged it across to Altach-Nacha. That is his second action. That is the end of his action phase. So next up we have Mandy Thompson. And here we are with Mandy in Shanghai. Now her first action, unsurprisingly, is going to be a rest action. She's at full sanity, but she can recover a health, a much needed health. So she's going to take that. That puts her up to 2 health. That is her first action. For her second action, she too is going to use a special action. And what she is going to do is she is going to draw 2 clues. And she's going to keep one and discard the other. So let's get the clue bag. I'll Apologies for the noise. It's stopped now. It's the boiler switching on. So the first clue is... Whoop, what's this? Let's have a look. It's a named clue. The moon. So we have a clue on the moon, which is a good candidate for keeping, seeing as we've got a few investigators over that way. And the other clue is 5. Well, that's right over Chicago, Minnesota way. So we've got nobody over there. So this is the one we'll discard. And we will generate this clue onto the moon. So we've got a few clues over there where we need them. Let me discard this clue. That is it for Mandy and her actions. So next up, it is Gloria at the Enchanted Wood. And here we are with Gloria at the Enchanted Wood. So what's Gloria going to do? Well, the first thing she's going to do is she's going to gain a focus. So we'll dig one of those out and we'll put it onto her player tray. Then Gloria is going to use the local path. So you don't have to use an action for that. So she can mosey on into Ulthar, no problem. Once in Ulthar, she's going to do her second action, and she is going to travel to Dilath-Leen. So here she is with Tommy, but she's only with Tommy briefly, because she's also going to spend her ship ticket. There we go. And she's going to use that to travel to the moon, where it's getting a little bit congested. So we've got the Dream Quest on the moon, we've got the Ghost on the moon, we have got the Amazon Gate on the moon, and we have just generated a clue on the moon. That is it for her actions. So next up, it will be our final investigator from the action phase, and that will be Zoey Samaras. And here we are with Zoey. What is Zoey going to do? Well, for her first action, she too is going to focus. And then for her second action, she is going to prepare for travel, and she is going to get herself a ship ticket. So those are the two actions for Zoey Samaras this turn. That is the end of her action phase and the end of the investigator action phase. So let's move into the encounter phase. And here we are with Tommy Muldoon. What's Tommy going to do? Well, he's going to fight this hunting horror. That's what Tommy's going to do. It's what he's here for, to shoot things in the face. So let's have a look at this hunting horror. First thing we'll have to do is the horror check. That's going to be a will test -1, and we need to get 3 successes. Unfortunately, he has got a will of 3. -1, he's only going to be rolling 2 dice. So that's a bit of a blow. So he's going to at least lose 1 sanity, but let's see how he goes on. As far as the combat check after it, no penalties, so it's just a straight strength check. He's going to use Becky, so he's going to be rolling 8 dice. Hopefully we will get 3 successes. But first of all, the horror check. So 2 dice. Come on, Tommy. Let's be having it. He gets a 6 and a 2. So he saved 1. He is going to use his focus as per what Tony asked for, to see if we can sort of minimise this horror damage. So he's going to spend that. We're going to roll this dice again. And we get a 4. That's brilliant. So he only loses a single sanity. Fantastic. Right, now the biggie. He's got 8 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 dice. Come on. Shoot straight. And that looks pretty straight to me. Whoa! What's that? 5 successes. Boom! Bye-bye, Mr. Hunting Horror. It was nice knowing you. It is very, very satisfying to get rid of him. Let's stick him back into the bag. So, that is excellent stuff. We'll leave this, well, we'll get rid of the dice. I'll leave those successes in there though, we'll be using those again. Get rid of the carbine rifle. As he's killed the monster on his space, it means he can have a Dilath lean encounter. So let's dig out the deck, which is over here. Quick shuffle. A quick cut. And let's see what encounter he has. Down here at the bottom, Dilath lean. You sneak aboard a black galley and later must fight your way back to the dock. Test strength. Love it. But it's just a strength check. So he doesn't get... he can't use Becky anyway, because you can only use it once per turn. So it's just a normal strength check, but he has got 3 strength and he has blessed dice. And he gets 2 successes. We love it. If you pass, you leave with a treasure from the hold. Gain 1 weapon artifact. Woohoo! And there's the fail condition. Let's get rid of that. Those there. And weapon artifacts. So we want the artifact deck. Woohoo! We love the artifact deck. Give it a quick shuffle. There we go. And a cut. And then hopefully he will get a very good weapon. Becky's good, but you can only use it once per turn, remember. Nope, that's a tome. Nope, that's not a weapon either. That's just a magical item. Serpent Crown, we certainly don't want that. Cult the Ghouls is a tome. Come on, a weapon, come on. The Crups of Sickening. No, that's just a item. No, tome. We'll get there. Grotesque Statue, that isn't a weapon. Crystal of the Elder Things isn't a weapon. Oh, this is the Sword of St. Jerome. This is what we like. Item, weapon, magical. Gain +2 will and +5 strength when resolving combat encounters. If you defeat a monster during a combat encounter, recover 1 sanity. Just the job for a face puncher like our friend Tommy. Fantastic stuff. Put that onto his player tray. We will get rid of these as we've had a look through. Give them another shuffle. And that is fabulous stuff. Tommy is on fire in the early rounds of this game. So that's brilliant. Who can stand against him? Nobody. Righto, well done Tommy. Next up we have Mandy Thompson. And here we are with Mandy at Shanghai. So she is going to use Clairvoyance. Let's just have a look. It's a spell, an incantation. During the encounter phase, i.e. now, you may test lore. If you pass, you may choose to encounter a clue as if you are on its space, ignoring monsters on that space. Then flip this card. So we've got to succeed first. We have to test lore, which is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just check she doesn't get any extra help. No, she doesn't, unfortunately, but 5 dice. Come on, Mandy. Got some successes, kid. 4 successes. Go Catweazle. I love it. I love rolling dice. Right, so we've got to flip this card. 2+. As you scry, your sight falls upon a previously hidden source of knowledge. Spawn 1 clue. Woo! Then flip this card. Let's just check what the others are, just for future reference. If we roll a 0, you see nothing but darkness. If you rolled any 1s, discard this card. That's bad. But, well, it isn't. We don't lose any sanity or anything, but getting rid of the card would be bad. We get a single success. You peer through the eyes of vengeful spirits that whisper horrible secrets to you. Lose 1 sanity unless you gain a paranoia condition. Well, she's got quite a lot of sanity, so we can afford to lose a sanity or 2. But we've passed. We get to spawn an extra clue, and then we get to do a research encounter. Let's get the clue back. Yes, good bounce back from Mandy after an early setback. The clue she spawns is Focus. Istanbul. Right next to Zoey. So put that clue there. Good stuff. And now on to the research encounter that we're going to do in Buenos Aires. The reason I'm doing Buenos Aires is it's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, we've got no investigator close to Buenos Aires as it stands. Well, that's not quite true because you can sort of go through the underworld to get there. But it's still a bit out of the way. As far as monsters, I'm not bothered about monsters anymore. Normally a good use of clairvoyance is because you can avoid a monster to do it. But when you've got like Tommy on the team, who's asked about monsters? So we're going to get rid, well, we're going to try and get this research clue from Buenos Aires. So we'll just put that there. And we need the research encounter deck. I've had a bit of a change round. This is now over here. Right, so come on, Mandy. Bit of a risk with Mandy with her low health, but let's hope it's a law check. It was Buenos Aires, so it'll be a city. You hear bouts of heated yelling and follow the ruckus. Observation -1. Well, her observation is 3 at the moment, unfortunately. It should be 4, but at least she still gets 3 dice. So we'll take 3 of these successes. And let's give it a roll. Come on, Mandy. And she gets a 5. Top banana. Right. Focus. If you pass, you arrive just in time to stop a strange man from feeding spider venom to his victim. Gain this clue and 1 random ally asset from the deck. Yes! If you fail, I don't care, but you guys can read it if you wish. So we get a random ally asset. The other thing we get as well, good job I got this out because it reminds me, whenever you gain a clue during a research encounter, place 1 Eldritch token on this card. So we will do that. Know thy enemy has got an Eldritch token on it. We get this clue. She now has 2. So bring on the reckoning, baby. We can stop that gate opening. What else? It's the random ally asset, isn't it? Put clairvoyance back. And here we go. So let's just go through here till we get a random ally asset. Expedition map, no. Agent of Secrets, brilliant. Second up, fantastic. She's a fox, we love her. So ally, gain +1 law. Unfortunately she can't gain any more law. She's got 5, but never mind. But she does get that observation back. Remember, she's at -1 observation because of the bloody impairment we got. We're back up to 4. You may re-roll 1 die when resolving a law or observation test. Fantastic. Brilliant. The Powerpuff Girls. Woohoo! Right, we've had a look through these, so I'll have to give it another shuffle. Unfortunately. Whoop. If they ever redo, you know, if you have an Eldritch Horror 2nd edition and you're listening, these asset decks and the spell decks that are ridiculously big, think out of a way, you know, that you can have them split so they're easier to shuffle. Right, there we go. Put that in there. What a fantastic pair of encounters. I hope we can keep it going. Right, we'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of this deck. So, brilliant stuff. Right, oh, well done, Mandy. After Mandy, we are back in the... Oh, it's a big turn for Glow. Big encounter for Glow. She's on the moon. Let's get there. And here we are, on the moon with Gloria. So, the first thing she's got to do, obviously, is take this ghost on. So, let's have a look. So, it's -1 will test. For the horror check, we've got to get at least 2 successes to avoid losing sanity. But the important thing is, it's essentially, this is the combat test. Because if we passed the will test, and we get those 2 successes, then they count as the toughness, and we actually managed to kill it. There isn't a combat test. So let's see if we can do it. Now, she normally has a will of 3, but she's got Randolph with her, so he gives her +2. So that is 5, minus 1 is 4 dice. So come on, Gloria, and she has a focus. Ooh, she's got 1 success. And let me just check. I think we can use, yeah, we can use the focus. We've got to use the focus. Come on. Come on, Glow. You can do it. You can get another success. Come on. A 6. Oh, you're brilliant. So we've spent that, unfortunately, but she has killed the ghost, and it goes back in the bag. Bye-bye, Mr. Ghost. The other good thing, obviously, it frees us up to have an encounter, and she is going to have an otherworld encounter. Hence, I've got the astronomy guidebook out as a reminder. So let's get the otherworld deck. Here it is. Quick shuffle, and then we'll do a quick cut, and let's see where Glow is going. She's going to the Great Hall of Celiano. Where else better for an author to go? The book you are looking for is not on its proper shelf. You've searched the surrounding area, but after long hours you have lost the will to keep searching. Will test. She's got a will of 5. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The tests are going our way. And she gets 2 successes, a 6 and a 5 there. So let's go to the pass condition, which is here. The tome was hidden at the back of the shelf. Opening it up, you find a series of handwritten instructions scrawled into the margin. You follow the instructions to the best of your understanding. Test law. Brilliant! Because she gets 2 law off Randolph again. So her law is... So it's another 5 dice. Fantastic. We'll get rid of these 3 losers. We'll swap out 3 others and keep these 2 successes. And we will go again. Come on, Glow. A 6. Brilliant. A success. You're on fire, kid. If you pass, close this gate. And there's the fail. But we have closed the gate. Brilliant. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of the gate. Woo! We love it. And we've got some other bits that we have to do, I think. Let's just check the guidebook. When you close a gate during another world encounter, recover sanity and gain a clue. So she's got a sanity back. Remember, she lost a sanity in the reckoning, and she gets a clue as well. So, clue out of the bag. There we go. Brilliant. She now has 2 clues. That is fantastic. We have quite a few clues to stop a gate opening on the reckoning, so that's pretty cool. Brilliant stuff. I don't think there is anything else. No, that is it. That is the end of her encounter phase. Let's get to Rome and meet Zoey. And here we are with Zoey in Rome. She's just going to have a normal Rome encounter, so that is the orange deck for Europe. Let's dig that out. Quick shuffly, and a quick cut. And let's see what we get. I don't know why I've kept all them white dice in there. She's cursed, but... In a hidden room beneath the Colosseum, you find an ancient creature that once fought gladiators. Somehow the terrible beast has survived and attacks you on sight. Test strength. Oh God. Right, this is bad. Because we can't use any of them, because she's bloody cursed. No! Does she have anything? Well... we'd better bring that out just in case. Right, so... she's got the arcane... Oh no, she can't use the arcane blade. It's just a strength test. So that's a bummer. Right. strength is, at least the strength's 3, so she gets 3 cursed dice. Now, come on. We need a 6. We need a 6. A 6! Grr! I bet you were worried, weren't you, Jeremy? Well, you don't have to be worried when I'm rolling dice, kid. Woo! I rock. Right. Yes! What a turn! Mind you, we haven't had the Mythos phase yet. So we didn't even need to use that. That can go back on a player tray. So take that, Mr. Ancient Beast. We didn't fail. Oh right, it's one of those horrible things where you get nothing if you pass. All we managed to do was avoid some horrible outcome. So not brilliant, but it's better than the horrible outcome. And it was worth it to roll that 6, I must admit. Yes, get it. Right, so that is it for Zoey. She's managed to dodge one there and no mistake. That is the end of the encounter phase, so let's see what fun the Mythos phase has in store for us. And here we are. It's the laugh and chuckle phase, so let's find out the bad news. So here we go. What is it? It's a reckoning, but there's no tentacles. So at least that's good. Right, so we've got Omen movement. Omen trap movement. We go onto a blue constellation. We do not have any gates with a blue constellation, but just as a reminder for everybody, we do have Tunguska, which is a green comet. So we might want to shut that next turn. Reckonings. We love reckonings. So, right. First off, we've got monsters. But we've been killing monsters for fun, haven't we? That skeleton hasn't got a reckoning, and nothing else is alive. The skeleton's not alive, but there's nothing else monster-like on the board. Brilliant. So then it is Altach-Nacha. Well, what we're going to do with Altach-Nacha is we're going to pay up. So Mandy is going to spend her 2 clues. Keeping the 2 clues with Gloria, obviously, because we need to start on this mystery, yeah? So we need one of our investigators to have at least 2 clues. So what it is, Mandy will discard her 2 clues, so we do not get a gate. What is next? Mythos cards, we don't have a rumour out, though we are due one. So I think we'll either get one, is it next turn? I think we may get one next turn. So, but we haven't got it yet, so that's fine, we don't have to check that. Now it's all possessions and stuff, so we'll go in order. First of all, we have Tommy, and Tommy has only his blessed condition to roll for. We could do with him keeping this. So anything but a 1 or a 2. Come on, Tommy. A 3, that's good enough. You are keeping your blessed condition, son. Well done. That goes back. Then we have Mandy. Mandy doesn't have anything. She got rid of a debt condition. Then it's Gloria. Gloria, unfortunately, has despair, so she is going to lose a sanity. She got one back. She's just lost it again. But that's okay. She's still got 7 sanity, so we'll get rid of that. That is all she had to roll for. Then we have poor old Zoey, but Zoey has got a chance of getting rid of this curse condition. This is what she's got to roll for, so let's just check. I think it's a 4, 5 or 6. Come on. A 4, a 5 or a 6. Let's get that 6 she rolled before. A 2. Rubbish. So unfortunately she keeps a curse condition. Damn. So we could have done with that one. Could have done with getting rid of that one. That is it as regards reckonings. So that's cool. We don't need to do anything else, I don't think. Nope. So that's the reckonings over. Spawn a gate. We do have to spawn a gate. And it is sell a face, which is great because it's another red sunburst gate, so we've been really lucky with these. And it means we've got 3 gates. Well, we did have 3 gates, so that is brilliant. And yes, so we've all got on close together. We did have 3 gates because obviously we got rid of that one on the moon. But Celophaeus puts it back to 3 gates in the Dreamlands. So fantastic. Opens right on top. Oh no, it doesn't. We've got nobody in Celophaeus yet. So we get that there. But it needs a monster. It needs a monster for Tommy to cut in half, then shoot in the face. So what do we get? We get a deep one. I don't like deep ones. Oh, it's only 2 toughness. So normal will test for the horror check. We need 2 successes not to lose any sanity. And the strength -1, that's easy for a man of Tommy's capabilities. So strength test -1, we just need 1 success to avoid losing health. 2 successes will kill it. Each investigator on this space will lose 1 sanity during a reckoning, but not this time. Right, we'll put that out. And there it is on Celophaeus. Coolness. Okie dokie. Alright, not this. Sorry. Put it straight. There we go. We're back straight again. So we've done the gate. Let's read the grimness. You have avoided sleep for days, fearing that you have travelled too far into your dreams. The Lord of Sleep does not take such trespasses lightly. Each time you are about to doze off, you force yourself to stand up and slog your way through the task at hand. Waking nightmare. Each investigator with at least 1 talent condition, I don't think we've got one, loses 3 sanity and discards 1 talent condition. I don't think we've got any talent conditions. No, we've just got the madness condition. That is it. A blessed condition. And a curse condition. No talents. So, we love it when Mythos cards don't give us a kick in the ghoulies. And this one hasn't. So fantastic. What a fabulous turn. This is what we live to play Eldritch Horror for. I don't think anything went wrong in that turn. There might be something right at the beginning, but I can't think of it. We have done absolutely brilliantly that turn. We've got the Sword of St. Jerome for Tommy. We closed a gate through Gloria. Just everything went fantastic. Gloria killed a ghost as well. And Mandy did fantastically. So what did she get? She got... yeah, she managed to put an Eldritch token on Know Thy Enemy. She managed to pick up a research clue, which was good because it meant that she could stop the Altach-Nacha Reckoning Gate from opening. So that was cool. And just basically everything just went fab. She got a brilliant ally in the what is it, Agent of Secrets, and even Zoey. Things looked like it was all saving itself up for Zoey to have an atrocious turn, especially rolling a cursed dice. But she rolled a 6 because she's a demon. So that was brilliant. Unfortunately, that was a bit of a fly in the ointment. We couldn't get rid of the... put that up there. We couldn't get rid of her curse condition during the reckoning, unfortunately. We shall have to try again. But other than that, we did fantastically well. Got the skeleton keys out of the assets, which should help Tommy as well. Basically, it was just a fab turn. I can't wait to edit it, and hope to God that I haven't made an error. Right, so that is the end of a very good, I think, a very good turn 3. As I've just alluded to there, if I've made any errors that I don't spot myself, please, please, please let me know. I hate it when I do a really good turn like this and find out I've made a massive boo-boo and I have to roll something back. Hopefully we are okay. Right, so that is it for turn 3. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the views, thanks for all the subscriptions, thanks for all the likes, thanks for all the help and support. It truly does mean a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody who's been across to Board Game Links to upvote the site. It's very kind of you, thank you very much. And to everybody on BGG who has either liked the videos or made a comment or anything like that. Thank you so much. That is it for turn 3. I do hope that you will join us for turn 4 of Eldritch Horror, the Dreamlands. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.